Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name of today. I want to talk about why Edda is one of my favorite characters in the game. She is so freaking cool because she has a unique strategy that only she could use. Now, she's got a bunch of different things that are really cool. Like I actually happen to really like the you take 40% less damage if there's an item one tile around the character. I think that's a really cool way that she could actually be a tank, right? 40% damage reduction is huge. And also she has a really cool barricade fight where if there's an item, you get 15% increased attack, and then after you attack, you get to move 2 tiles. So honestly, she's got some really cool, unique stuff when it comes to the box fort. I love the box fort strategy. But she has got such a good support kit that is absolutely crazy. And if you want her to be a support, you only need her at 1 star. If you do want her to be a more of a damage dealer, I think you're going to want her at 3 stars because you're going to be relying on this assisting attack, and it goes from once per round to 2 times per round, and that doubles the strength, right? And she gets 6% more attack. So she gets quite a bit stronger at 3 stars for actually dealing damage. But if you're not dealing damage as a support, she's freaking awesome. So one thing I am going to recommend, especially if you're running her support, is you're going to want to run the world, and you're going to want to find the super secret, I don't know what we call these, limit break effects or something. So normally it recovers an energy when not using any active skill and standby. But when you upgraded it, it also will reduce the cooldown of all active skills by 1 turn when not using any active skills and standby. The main reason for this is because Guiding Gleam is one of the most powerful buffs in the entire game, and it lasts for 3 turns, but it's got a 4-turn cooldown. However, if you use this, next turn you don't do anything, right? That'll be 1 turn, 2, 3, and then on the 4th turn, it'll be ready to go again because you've basically gotten the cooldown and extra stuff. So you should be able to have 100% uptime on this, which is a really good ability, like buff to have this on anyway. 30% damage. The 40% magic defense is not insanely important, but it is good. Move 1 is always nice, especially if you don't have Gloria. But also dispelling disruption effects is like low-key pretty darn good. It may not come up all the time, but there are definitely times where you're going to want to dispel, and this dispels a lot of the stuff. Not the attribute stuff, but pretty much everything else. So basically, I'm going to recommend use that tarot for her. Outside of that, she's kind of just an item thing, right? She's going to put boxes down. Now, this seems like a joke in a lot of ways. This ability is so good. Not only can you use it to break enemy AI where maps are set up, like if there's only one path up, if you could put a box on top of that, suddenly the AI has to walk all the way around, right? So that's map specific. However, even if you're not doing something that's map specific, you could just like, one, it triggers all of her items or things, right? It's like, oh, this counts as an item. So now she gets to extra attack. She gets to maneuver. She gets 40% less damage because she takes cover. Besides that, also, this counts as high ground. A box is too high, not one. So it's not 1 high, it's 2 high. So if someone's on like a plane and, there's a flat square next to them, you can, or, a square of the same height next to them, you can put a box on that square, stand on that. Now you have a high ground advantage basically anywhere you want. Now, this could be good for her because she could use it and then stand on it. She does have the really, then she gets the increased damage and she's doing high ground advantage with her assisting attack, stuff like that. But you could use this on any character. So the whole point of this video is I kind of want to show a combo. I want to show how much damage she could help you do when you're setting up everything. But really, what the core ability here is the wine barrel casting. This is my favorite ability in the game currently, and I'm that's like not even an exaggeration. This is literally, off the top of my head, this is my favorite ability in the game. She deals 20% damage to all enemies within 1 tile. Womp womp, not very good, but it is instant, so that's nice. Has no energy cost, that's nice. And it changes the tiles into liquor. Liquor is busted. Not only, there's 2 effects that this does. So one, it changes the tiles into liquor. But when you throw this on enemies, they are going to reduce their speed by 150 in an AoE, and it's going to reduce their movement by 1 tile, because this is a debuff that they get on them, and it lowers their magic defense by 40%, this is a different named debuff, so this is stackable with other defensive debuffs. So if you get normal magic debuff, and you get liquor, and you use Warhorn, you can get 100% magic defense shred. So enemies have 0 magic defense. Absolutely insane. But also, it lowers their speed and their movement. And then The actual liquor tiles don't have an effect. Like, it doesn't deal damage, but it's like ice tiles. It takes an extra movement to move through them. Or I think it might be like fire, where it takes an extra half movement to move through them. We'll check when we get in the battle. But the point is, it increases, it's harder to move through it than a normal tile. So not only do they get less movement, it's also harder for them to move through. They get way less defense, and because they're getting 150 speed slower, usually you could take another turn before they ever get a chance to go. Absolutely a freaking sick ability. So I'm going to show you 2 fights here. We're going to lose them both, all right? That's just the way it's going to be. We're basically giving you, we're doing math here, all right? We're having Purplatypus fun math time. We are going to go to Weaponry Trial 1. We're going to go to the 10th fight. I'm not trying to beat this one right now, but I want to show you how much damage Barrel does without any modifiers. And then I want to show you how much damage when we actually set it up to do what we want. So let's go ahead and take a quick look here first. All right, so here is Barrel in this fight. First, we could take a look at the enemy really quick. They have 2,097 magic defense and 150 speed. So one thing to note is this ability I'm using does actually have armor piercing. So this is actually not even going to be the best case scenario that we could do. Like, I could find a different ability that doesn't have any armor piercing, but Barrel's my hardest hitting unit, so I think the damage will be the most impressive showcasing, even though this has armor piercing. I mean, we could even do it with this, right? This normally does, okay, let's do both of them. This does 655, and this does 1,404, all right? Remember those numbers, Plat. I'm going to write them down. So this is our damage without any modifiers. Barrel just going up and attacking, and just to confirm, that way, you know, we go in there. Our Barrel has, I mean, I guess she actually has a leader's aura. I didn't even mean for her to have a leader's aura, but she is actually stacked. She has 3,000 magic defense, right? And if we come back, we leave the battle. I'll just go right back in here really quick. We'll retry. And I want to make sure that you could see, we're not going to change anything. We're just hitting retry. I'm not going to do a cut here. We could take a look. She is fully stacked here, right? So this is the exact gear she had on. So we are going to do the exact same thing, but instead we want Urgent Order to make this work right. Urgent Order doesn't increase damage. All it does is increase our speed and gives an energy. This is just for turn order, so we don't die before we get to see the damage. So now we are going to start here. The only thing we have suppression here to tank this first hit. He just stands here. Go ahead and take that hit. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we have our other units here. We're going to move up. You can't reach this turn, but it's okay. There's no debuff, so we already know the damages for this. Now, we do have, we have our guy here. He is here specifically to shred defense. You could use Abyss, but it wasn't consistent. I tried it once, and it didn't land, so I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do this. So, bringing him up here. And now the star of the show, Edda, gets to go. So, we're going to move up here. First, we are going to give a box in front of Barrel, so Barrel can get high ground next turn. Next, I'm going to Urgent Order this guy here. That way he goes before Barrel and can actually do the defense shred. So that you see, this guy's going before us. Actually, he's going before my characters, right? So the turn starts, suppression goes first, but then he's going to go first. He's going to kill us. But when you throw this casket, let's take a look at his defense right now. Let's see if it's actually, I don't think we've changed it yet, have we? We have. We haven't lowered it yet. So it's 2,097. So let's throw our casket. One of the greatest abilities in the entire game. Boom. Casket has been thrown. So now if we take a look at the liquor tile, like I said, also, it takes an additional half movement. So taking 2 tiles actually takes 3 tiles. So if you only have 1 movement left, you can't actually move through it because it takes 1.5 minimum. And so they can be set on fire, which is kind of nice. You'll allow you to turn these into fire tiles. I don't use that as much. So now he's already down to 1,258 defense and 0 speed, because this is a debuff that goes directly on the boss. So absolutely freaking insane. Now, we're going to use our buff here as well. Give everyone a big old buff. Easy peasy. So you're going to move 1 step up here. You are going to do the Armor Eroder. You don't care. You're just going to stand here. So now he's going last, right? Now he has no speed, so he's going last in the round. So now let's take a look at his defense really quick. He has 419 defense with those 2 buffs. And now we're going to, actually, before we even come up here, we are going to use our Warhorn on him. So if you haven't used Warhorn, it lowers defenses by 20%, increases the damage taken by 60%, and lowers defenses by 20% for 1 turn. So it only does it for one turn, so it is tough, but if you're going to go all in, it's the perfect spell to go all in with. So now if we take a look, he has 0 defense, 0 speed. He even has almost no physical attack, which is not our goal. But so what were we at before? We were at 655 for fire. We are now hitting for 5,065. This is the same exact barrel as it was before. Our stats are exactly the same. All we have is a character that actually buffs us. And this is not, we don't even have a, we have an attack buff 2. I bet Barrel got that. But we have an attack buff 2. We have the damage buff 3, the leader Zara, and the crit buff. I don't even know where the crit buff comes from. But the point is, this is the exact same barrel that we had before. So that one was 655 to 5,000. So this is 1,404 to 11,901. That is literally 10 times more damage. It's not. It's literally 9 plus times more damage. 11,000 damage. So very, very good. It is over 3 hits, but we actually got a crit. And I think you could actually do this even better if you use someone like maybe Night Raven, who has like 180% attack that also gets a really big boost when there's a hunter's mark on him. Or even you could probably just do this with Nungal, right? Nungal does magic damage, and that would probably work as well. But because of the way the turn works, I just wanted to showcase. This is, even though Barrel's doing a lot of damage, yes, the point is Barrel is replaceable here. Edda is the only character in the game that allows you to do this. Not only did we get 2 turns in a row because we lowered their speed to 0, we also lowered their defense to 0, and we fucking got to hit them for almost 10x what we were going to do. Now, if we had a team more dedicated to this, right, we're using Abyss. Abyss would be doing a lot more damage as well because they have no magic defense. We could be doing a lot better team. But that, again, the showcase here is just to show what is possible. So Edda has quickly become one of my favorite characters in the entire game. Absolutely an all-star support. And I love the style of support where she could also just be a crazy good damage dealer. Probably not top tier damage dealer, but if your support can start putting out a lot of damage, she might be the highest damage dealing support style character. I mean, Gloria is that as well, but Gloria, I would say, is a little more dedicated to the damage side than the support side. She's got like one really good buff. You've got a lot of utility here with the boxes, with the huge debuff. This is such a crazy good ability. And I would not pass this up for anything in the world. And that's not even talking about her ultimate that we haven't gotten to yet. Take arms, right? Other allies within 4 tiles restore energy. So she has an AoE energy restore. When she performs an assisting attack, her damage increases by 100%. Increase the maximum number of times it can be triggered per turn by 2. So she could end up doing 4 assist attacks in the next turn within 4 tiles or 5 tiles if she's like 5 stars. And they're going to be hugely boosted while also giving everyone energy. So she could be like an alert support assisting attack, not alert, but an assisting attack powerhouse as well. And if you have something like the Whale Hunter, where every time you do a single target active attack, you give infection, suddenly we're looking impressive. This is one of my favorite characters. I just wanted to show off the 0 magic defense build. Super fucking cool, powerful, fun character. And I know the character is, I think the character is about to leave the summons. That's just kind of why I want to do it. Let's take a look. She is here for only a couple more days. So I just wanted to make a video highlighting her before she left, in case you did decide you want to get her. I'm not saying she's a must pull and that you should pull her or anything like that. But if it's something, if you're a light spender like me and you've thought she looked kind of lame, I beg you to reconsider. If you're the type of person that wants to spend to get characters, I think this is a character that will add a lot of fun and uniqueness to your overall account, because that liquor is fucking powerful. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Thank you very much. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip flops. Bye. Platypus on the rise. Watch the view.